you're ready to go into battle and lead the Israelites against the Midianites. And he says, I need a sign that you're going to go with me. He said, I want to put a fleece down, and here's what I want you to do. When I wake up in the morning, I want the fleece to be wet and the ground to be dry. He wakes up the next morning, God answered his prayer. He's that strong believer like you and I, and he said, God, I need one more chance. Would you flip it around? And next day, would you keep the fleece dry, and would you keep the ground wet? And went to bed, wakes up the next morning, God answered his prayer. He said, okay, I'm ready. And he went out and recruited an army of 32,000 men. And he brings them before God, and God says, you got too many people. He goes, what do you mean? We'll get crucified. And he says, no, because with 32,000 people, if you win, you'll think you did it instead of I did it. So he says, I want to reduce that army of 32,000 men down to 300 men. And he did it, and God says, or Gideon says, God, we can't win this battle with 300 men. He says, you're right, we can't, but I can. And with 300 men, they went into battle with God's help and destroyed the Midianites. You see, Gideon had to learn to put the outcome in God's hands. And I want to say to you, church, that's one of my biggest struggles. To put this church, to put my life, to put my marriage, to put my future, to put my health, to put everything in God's hands. But that's the only way we can overcome the fear of failure. We got to surrender the outcome to God.